Давай, садись. Не тупи, родной. Опа. И давай ноги. Ну и хлебалушку сюда. Да, я знаю. Мне бы ускакать как-нибудь. Тут еще девочка эта. Давай, не тупи. Лошадь, скачи. И это плохо. Да я и стараюсь. А, 530. Но он медленный. Вроде бы. Я понял, я уже стараюсь оторваться от них. Да слезай! Давай. Да блин! Да я и спрятался. Он не хочет слезать, ребят. С лошади. Ой, да неужели? Где эта хрень? Давай мы ее отметим, чтобы знать до нее расстояние. Она нас не видит. Приближается, удаляется. Неясно. Ёшкин кот, это что еще такое? Какого хрена? Походу отсюда надо тоже ноги теперь делать. И она стремительно приближается к нам, да? Нет. Нет, он там остался. Но эту штуку надо уничтожать явно. Ага, она сама уничтожилась. И? Так, ничего не понимаю, что происходит, ребят. Давай, иди сюда опять. Ну, вроде я... Куда? Стоять. Да не уж не забуду. Он же меня не видит отсюда и не увидит. Я хотел бы в это верить. Да, 10 раз. Он уже здесь. Он же Эмериха не видит. И не увидит, наверное, да? Да я пытаюсь, надо как-то его... Тут видишь, какая хрень надвисает. Может, уйдет сейчас куда-нибудь? Эмериха она не видит. Ей вообще пофигу на Эмериха, да? Сейчас развернется. Ну вот ведь, блин. А рожа у тебя просто... Жесть, конечно. Что, тебе страшно? Уйди куда-нибудь, хрень. Да блин. Щу рычит. Как бы тебя... Ты же меня не видишь. Не должен нас видеть. А, я не знаю, как его. Блин. На лошадь. Блин. Да, сейчас он меня видит, я знаю. Ну или может заметить. Но не заметил, походу. Давай, на лошадь. Во. Сам, на лошадь. Во. Теперь надо его отсюда увезти. Да, я знаю, что ты меня сейчас заметишь. Давай, давай, ускоряйся. Давай, давай, давай. Так, все, оставим пока тут. Умудрился же так еще слезть. А есть ли возможность вертушку в другое место направить? Нет, только туда. Вертушка у нас не понимает, что мы можем эвакуироваться с другого места, да? Ладно. Да, пап, забудешь о нем. Так, давай. Уж машину ты заметишь взлетающую. Да, есть такое. С помощью iDroid? Да ладно. Ну-ка, давайте попробуем. Вот Полкер Джир. Не понял. Сброс координат. А знаете что? Эта хрень сюда идет. Давай, давай, давай. Сюда же идешь? Ну, отошел, по крайней мере. Да рядом с тобой, не парься. Погнали. Ты же меня заметил, да? Сейчас пойдешь сюда? Нет? Да. Погнали. Да куда? Я знаю. Давай, скачи, 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 родной. Скачи, лошадь. Давай. Под мост. Так, я не могу так просто уйти. Нифига там попадания. Давай, 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 давай. Сел. Молодец. 15 раз пытался сесть. И давай, скачи. Ага. Че встал-то? Жесть, ребята. Лошадь — это наитупейшая штука, придумана в этой игре. Столько ранений просто так поймал из-за тупости. Вот что она сейчас делает? Стоять! Дальше куда? Ага. Обходи. Все, просто стой. Я его не вижу. Вон она. Так, ясно. Она меня пока может спалить. И спалит, скорее всего, сейчас. Да блин. Лошадь. Воу. Короче, давай, беги. Да беги, лошадь. Куда? Как ты там упал? Башкой зацепился. Своей деревянной. О, жесть. Давай. Вот так я его и потерял. Я должен ускакать сейчас. Просто обязан. Давай, давай. Да просто вперед беги. Вперед. Ах! Короче, сейчас я его скину там. Потом попытаюсь потерять его. Я не знаю, интересно вам эта хрень смотреть, которую я тут творю, или нет. Вот сейчас, почему бы вертолету сейчас не приземлиться сюда? Почему бы? Да, да, да. Потому что, блин. Давай. Теперь ты. Сюда. И здесь будешь сидеть. А я с этой клячей позорной. Ясно. Хорошо, хорошо, хорошо. Вот пусть он будет здесь. Сам-то, надеюсь, сюда не придет. От этих штук мы избавились. Они ищут просто, да? И взрываются. Все теперь? Вроде должно быть все. Должно быть все. Надеюсь, что он сам туда теперь не поет. Давай, ну сейчас же я его скинул. Погнали. А он сюда идет. Падла. Я не знаю, как тут делать, ребята. Уже день. Все, будь здесь. Давай. И чё, мне сейчас получится сесть? У меня окончательно... Да беги, давай, давай, давай. Давай, вот. И прям на фоне этого безмозглого робота, который меня потерял. Он же меня не увидел, да? Где он там? Б. За пулемет? Давай. Попробуй. И где ты? И что? Давай, давай, давай. Да я стреляю. Куда я так правильно все сделал? По-моему, ему сейчас не очень хорошо. Не видно ничего. Цель под контролем, задание выполнено. Да ладно, снес такую большую хрень из простой машины. И правильно, нечего. Блин, я сейчас замонтирую. Ребята, короче, по поводу этой миссии. Я 4 раза туда-сюда бегал и... Короче, этот Хьюи просто головой за что-то цеплялся и слетал с лошади. Наверняка на ранг 0. Не говори, ранг С. Да, это было круто, конечно. Ну и пофигу. Чисто ради сюжета. Намонтирую, покажу. Узнаем, что там получится. Ну это, блин, вот честно сейчас тут смотрю, суммарно все эти ролики получились час 40. Час 40 я бегал, ну, час где-то я бегал от этой фигни. Просто вот прибегаю в одну сторону. Вот. Ладно. Отслот.
Why do you suspect me? What did I do? I'm on your side. What about him? Miller was in contact with Cypher 9 years ago. He was working with them. He's the traitor, Snake! What's that? More truth serum?
No. Stronger truth
Oh,
serum.
please. Please keep me here. I need protection. Ah! Ah! Oh. Oh.
Какая-то хрень.
Oh. Why?
You're the odd one out.
Why me?
We all lost something.
What?
Except you.
Don't.
Он ему ногу ломает. Жесть, конечно. Отпустил, да? Да, это жесть, конечно. Опять скрытая реклама.
Truth serum isn't working. Either some procedure he had done boosted his metabolic enzymes, or he's undergone special gene therapy.
What's he saying?
Same as 6 hours ago. I had no idea the nuclear inspection 9 years ago was a ruse. Cypher forced me to do that research after the attack.
Do you think he had a hand in it?
I do. But there's no proof yet. Take a listen to this later.
Угу.
We need proof before we can pass judgment. Keep an eye on him. And don't tell anyone he's here.
We'll have him continue his research in there. It's for his own good. The older guys will want his head. We can't guarantee his safety if we let him out.
Наверно.
Boss.
He mentioned something interesting. The reason why they pulled their plug on the operation in Afghanistan.
Какой
He said their
проект?
funding started going to Central Africa instead. Cypher is pursuing new research in Africa.
Ну, вот он еще.
What research?
Emmerich doesn't know the details, but one thing he said does make sense. That Sahelanthropus alone isn't enough to cause an RMA. He claims that what they're doing in Africa is the missing piece. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Meaning it's not just another nuke.
Угу. А еще я думаю, что Миллер, ну, а может действительно что-то в чем-то причастен он. Даже не знаю, что думать. Сюжет закручивается. Доступна модификация транспорта. Элитные солдаты доступны. Да. пропустить бы все это сразу одной кнопкой. Ну, каждого по А плюс. Вот это ашные. Еще куча ашных. Бэшные. Там даже один цешный есть, но это доброволец. Сейчас послушаем аудиокассету тогда. Угу.
Boss, there's no doubt about it. Cypher's working on something in Central Africa. There's evidence they've been in contact with private forces operating in the region.
Это что, нам в Африку надо лететь?
We should learn what Cypher is after. Diamond Dogs has gotten a lot bigger. Now's the time to take the offensive. Head back to the ACC for your next mission.
Понял тебя. Ну для начала давай-ка мы прослушаем, ну, глянем список миссий. Ну, вообще пацанов отправим на внешнее задание. О, нормально, и по деньгам неплохо. Вот пусть вот этот отряд идет. Отряд А. Все, пока что. Теперь смотрим список миссий. Непроглядная тьма нас ожидает. Ну, посмотрим, ладно. Но это будет уже потом. Побочные задания. Там 13 штук аж накопилось. Вот чертежи дополнительно нужно будет еще собрать. Ну и вот еще уничтожение танкового подразделения. Ну, я сейчас вне серии побегаю. Внешнее задание посмотрел. Ну и давайте аудиокассеты послушаем. Там аж вон 12 бритиков. Музыку давайте включим, отключим. И отключим. Вот, теперь аудиокассеты, инструктажи. Нет, не то. Молчунья. Ну, как раз это может быть интересно. Погнали.
When Quiet first came here, she demonstrated her marksmanship against that enemy fighter plane. It showed she was much more than your everyday crack shot. Hitting a moving target from 600 meters is a challenge, but it's possible with the right training and equipment. But shooting down that missile, that's a world apart from taking out a soldier on patrol. The chopper and the missile were in motion, meaning different vectors at high velocity in three-dimensional space, and she shot an unguided bullet that had to fight air resistance and gravity. All that while the chopper was taking evasive maneuvers. Some of the best target leading I've ever known. She has a superhuman sense of spatial awareness. You put her in a fighter jet, and she'd be an ace right off the bat. Hell, your judgment was top class too. Realizing she could take out that pilot, that's quick thinking. You and Quiet could make a hell of a team. You'd be damn near unstoppable. Quiet is still in her cell. Only a few staff are authorized to go near her. She hasn't tried anything funny, but that's what bothers me most.
In particular?
What does she have to gain by coming to Mother Base? I first thought she was under orders from Cypher to take you out. She didn't manage it in Afghanistan, so round 2 happens here. So I lighten the guard. And that lock on her door is a joke.
You gave her an opening. And?
Well, she hasn't killed you yet. And I hate to say it, but she's had plenty of chances.
You made me the bait.
Poisonous bait. What better? Anyway, she didn't bite. Quiet is keeping her silence. So I'm left with no idea again what she's doing here.
We tried communicating with her through writing. That didn't work either. Whether she's illiterate, dyslexic, or just plain stubborn, she won't cooperate. I just don't get it.
If she tried to contact the outside, it'd be picked up by our counterintelligence net. But it's clean. There's no sign she's had contact with the staff, base facilities, nothing. She's almost got the men wanting her to try something, just to find out what she's up to. And she's in there putting on the failed soldier look, all downcast eyes and defeated sighs. But she doesn't kill herself. She can't be trying to leave Cypher and surrender to us.
So what's the verdict?
This may sound optimistic, but here's how I see it. Quiet came here to fulfill some objective. To kill you, maybe to destroy Diamond Dogs. Whatever it was, before she could do it, something changed her mind. Yes. When I look at her, I sense hesitation.
You think she'd betray Cypher?
Can't say for sure. I prefer the ones that talk. Anyway, we'll keep her under watch. And we're also looking into those special abilities of hers. You'll be the first to know if something comes up. Why not look in on her yourself once in a while?
Right.
Да, ребят, в процессе прослушивания видеокассеты, ну я намонтирую, в процессе прослушивания кассеты два вот этих пацана беспонтовых решили вдруг, что, ну, что можно просто так вот взять, вот начать общаться. Как бы и пофигу, что тут человек аудиозаписи слушает. Так что сейчас мы пробегаемся до техники, садимся в нее и едем на базу. Это будет чуть-чуть быстрее, чем на вертолете. Вертолет облетает вообще все. Где у тебя магнитофон? Ты загораешь, что ли? Развязала. Где эта музыка? Как ее вырубить? Где она играет? Где-то тут же. Раздражает такая обстановка. Все, общаться будем? Нет. Нет, она не хочет общаться. У тебя от музыки еще башка не болит? Ладно, все, сматываемся отсюда. Надо куда-нибудь, где музыки нет. Включили ей музыку, блин. А люди записывают. О, девушка. Девушка, это хорошо. У нас есть девушка в отряде. У тебя татуировка есть на лице? Прикольно. Все, вот сейчас идем сюда и здесь прослушаем остальные брифинги и закончим серию. Спасибо огромное за просмотр. Надеюсь, что вам это все нравится. Если это так, поставьте лайк, буду очень рад. Подписывайтесь, если еще не подписаны. Ну и увидимся в следующей серии. Всем пока.
Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on us. A private army, just a bunch of guys with guns, in possession of a nuke? Why wouldn't they be uncomfortable?
And that's why you made sure the inspection happened.
Well, I thought our best move was to prove to the UN, through the IAEA, that we had no nuke. Of course, I was against us having it in the first place, but that was Snake's decision.
The boss wasn't responsible.
Well, don't get me wrong, I still believed in Snake. I thought I was making the best decision for all of us, that's all. I figured we should get a third party to exonerate us before proof of the nuke did get out. And who better to do that than an organization with international authority?
So the truth is, you took it upon yourself to agree to an inspection arranged by the UN. Only the inspection was a ruse, and Cypher's strike force, XOF, showed up instead.
I had no idea that would happen.
Enough bullshit!
Oh, sure, like I could have known. You know, I was just trying to prove our innocence to the world. What's wrong with that?
We're not interested in the excuses you've thought up. The truth is objective.
Just see it from my point of view.
You led XOF to the control tower. They seized it, giving them complete control over the base. Moments later, they detonated C4 on the strut legs. Anyone who'd managed to survive was hunted down by the assault force and their choppers.
You can't believe I did that on purpose.
That was the end of Mother Base. But it wasn't the end for you.
How can you... Look, think about it. I lost something too. I built Zeke and it got buried underwater. I am a victim.
That raises the big questions. Why were you the only one spared? You got away without a scratch. Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
And how did you manage to build something that surpasses Zeke in every way? Because you did everything they told you. You're the only one who didn't lose a thing. That is the truth.
I was taken away against my will. Skullface forced me to do his research these past 9 years. He used me, I lost 9 years.
9 years. We all lost 9 years. It wasn't just you.
I suppose blaming me makes you feel better, does it? But who's gonna give me back all the time I lost?
You're not getting anything back. You're not a victim here, Emmerich. You're the perpetrator.
I didn't know anything.
Nobody can back that up.
Yeah, all the evidence is at the bottom of the ocean.
You know the hardest man to break? The type who's fooling himself. That takes time. It's easier to live a convenient lie than a painful truth. Is that the piece you've chosen, Doc?
I'm not lying.
Of course. Just let me check one or two things. On that day, you were in the control tower with them. Lucky you. That's how you got out unscathed. And you escaped on one of their choppers. Only you, right before the base went under.
They had me blindfolded the whole time. I've never been so scared. The whole flight, I thought they'd kill me. But thinking of you kept me going. My comrades, all the way.
And?
Heavy mist anticipated.
There was a plane journey, and then we traveled by road. When they finally took off the blindfold, I was in kind of a warehouse, on the floor. Afghanistan, it was that research lab. I couldn't believe they'd taken me halfway around the world. And soon enough, he came.
Skullface.
He's the one who's really behind that Mother Base attack. He forced me into that research.
What kind of research?
He told me to build a bipedal walking tank for the Soviet Union. Like Peace Walker. A system that could fire an ICBM-class nuclear weapon. That's how the Sahelanthropus project got started.
Sahelanthropus.
Those AI weapons I'd made in Costa Rica were like toys by comparison. A whole world apart from reptilian four-legged crawling and that ridiculous hunched-over bipedal waddling. My design evolved to the dawn of mankind. Sahelanthropus, the first steps towards humanity. An upright bipedal weapon system. Originally, Sahelanthropus was going to be a manned weapons platform. I designed a cockpit in its head, and I planned to fill it with water as a buffering agent.
Like how Paz modified Zeke for human control.
Don't compare me to some amateur. I designed it for human control from the beginning. The problem was miniaturizing the posture control AI. You remember the reptile pod?
The AI that controlled your unmanned weapons.
Attaching it externally makes it vulnerable, so this time I wanted it beneath the armor. Meaning I had to make the AI smaller. I got it down to less than 1/10 the size without any loss in computation speed. But it was still too big for the cockpit. There wasn't enough room for the pilot. If I made the head bigger, its body would have to be bigger to support it. Too big to be practical. In the end, human piloting was taken off the table. I tested a remote control system too, but there was the time lag and I wasn't satisfied with its precision either. Plus, it would be useless if the enemy jammed it. So next, I went back to trying an AI-only system. To do that, I had the AI pods recovered from Nicaragua. This was a hybrid AI, a combination of Peace Walker's reptile and mammal pods. The only AIs that had ever successfully operated an unmanned nuclear weapon system.
Really? You'd need some help to get that working. Expert help. Did you work with someone?
I worked alone.
You did that yourself?
That's the thing. The AI didn't pan out in the end either. But I did finally get Sahelanthropus walking by folding over its upper body to lower its center of gravity. The first upright bipedal locomotive weapon system in the history of mankind. I guess, technically it falls into the anthropoid ape category.
I don't see the benefit of having it stand taller.
On terrain with significant differences in elevation like Afghanistan, you need a body that's vertically adaptable. That also lets it attack from long range while using mountain ridges for cover. So, making it walk upright was the most important factor in giving it superior height capability. As the name suggests, that was the whole point of Sahelanthropus. But I was being pushed for results. Having the AI mounted externally would have been the fastest way to get it working. I just needed more data so it could maintain its balance. But Skullface refused to wait. He dismissed the idea of AI control and took Sahelanthropus away from me before I could finish it.
But it was walking when it came after you.
That's just it. I don't understand how Skullface got it to move upright, without a pilot or an AI. And walking at that speed, too. It's beyond anything I could have imagined. This is like the Wright brothers making it to the moon. I'm just as clueless as you are.
So this Sahelanthropus, where is it now?
I have no idea. All my experiments took place at that cave. I've never seen it anywhere else. Besides, it's still just an incomplete prototype at this point, and nothing but a paper tiger. Even if it can walk, it's far from being a viable weapons platform. It wouldn't be useful in actual battle.
Emmerich will remain here at Mother Base for now, but not as a member of Diamond Dogs. I still don't trust him. That work for you?
Fine by me. He can't be allowed any contact with staff either.
Yeah. A lot of the guys would love some payback for 9 years ago. We still need him alive. But we have to restrict his movements. He can only go where we tell him. And of course, the interrogations will continue. He worked for that skull bastard for nearly a decade. He still has more to tell us.
How long are we gonna press him?
If our investigation shows he really had nothing to do with the attack, we'll reconsider his place here. But I don't expect that to happen. Remember that water tank-shaped object in Emmerich's lab in the Soviet base camp? The thing that started talking to you like a possessed answering machine. That was a pod built for housing the AI used to control unmanned weapons. You remember, back in '74 in Costa Rica. It was in those machines you fought there. They were designated Pupa, Chrysalis, Cocoon, and Basilisk, and each of them was fitted with an AI unit called a reptile pod. Emmerich created it. It mainly handled the machine's posture control and autonomous behavior. But the Basilisk, aka Peace Walker, also featured a second AI pod. That one was called the Mammal Pod, and it was created by Dr. Strangelove. She tried to recreate the boss's personality through the Mammal Pod, but you pulled out its memory boards. That's when it transferred its own functions to its reptile pod. Just like a human brain compensating for damage by using the remaining healthy parts. The result was a unique entity, a hybrid of the reptile and the mammal. It sank to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua with Peace Walker. But apparently they salvaged it and transported it to that lab. Don't let it deceive you, Snake. It may sound like the boss, but it has neither a personality nor a will. Like Emmerich says, it's just a machine.
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over.
What do you mean?
Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes.
A warning?
Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that.
I never said any of that.
The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did, and stand up to Cypher.
Of all the stupid things you could do.
They'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action, and we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA, but if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, groups of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. PFs expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.